So today's walk begins by the wonderfully historic church in Mattersey in North Nottinghamshire, and if you join us we're going to take you to see some amazing but mysterious stones that we've found in the middle of the field. We're going to the site of an ancient medieval bridge, and we shall finish in this church where there is something really quite poignant and quite beautiful we'd like to share with you.
So come and join us on another path to the past.
So as we set off down Church Lane, we'll soon come to a little bridge over the River Idle, which looks like a small stream, but it was the site of a grand battle during the time of the Anglo-Saxons. I don't think we're exactly sure where the Battle of the River Idle is, but it could have been within yards of here. So a short track now takes us along to something I think is called Eel Pool Road. We'll find out a little bit about the history of why it's called Eel Pool Road. We cross the road and then through a little bit of woodland. So this walk will be about 4 miles in length, and we'll put the map up at the end if you do want to come over here and follow it. Would highly recommend it.
A few daffodils, another sign of spring.
So as the name suggests, Eel Pool Road was an area where eels either gathered naturally or were farmed in pools for people to eat during the Middle Ages. Beautifully tranquil on this mid-March Saturday afternoon. I think these trees are fir trees. Just been told they are. A few trees fallen down here. I think this one might be the next to go. So Mattersey back behind us now, and we'll walk you up to the village of Everton. We've never actually been to that mill over there. There is a public footpath along there, so we're going to head that way on the way back.
Love these signs which depict scenes of obviously what was village life.
Right, now we're going to come off the road and round a footpath into the village of Harwell. We'll have to cross the main A631, so take care when doing that. It's a little bit off the beaten track, this part of the country. You've got sort of Bawtry, Doncaster, Rotherham in that direction. You've got Gainsborough in that direction, but a lot of little villages between those places are underexplored, I feel, and a lovely part of the country as we're showing you today. That looks like it's going to be a lovely house when it's finished, although a little bit close to the main road for my liking. If you fancy stopping off for coffee or bite to eat en route, this is sometimes open. A yurt you can see behind me. So across the main A631 onto Chapel Lane, so named because of this old Wesleyan chapel just behind us here, which has now been converted into either a luxury home or luxury flats. That looks like one house to me. Still some of the original features here. The topping of this gatepost here. Lovely stone houses, very reminiscent of the type of vernacular architecture and brick buildings we have in this part of the country. And what a lovely school here, Everton Primary School. Looks like it was built in the late Victorian era. Great to see the old building still in use, and the fact it's still used as a school and not having been closed and swallowed up and amalgamated into larger schools in the area. Old pub there. This really is ticking all the boxes. Everton, old school, village pub, nice little cafe at the end that we showed you. But in a minute we will be showing you something rather special, something we've rarely seen on our travels around Britain, and something we hope you might help us work out why they are there.
So the sun's come out now and it's a beautiful afternoon on this beautiful quiet lane.
So we're just heading up to the village of Harwell. It's quite a small village. There's no facilities there, no church or anything, or shop or post office. but it's just a lovely collection of houses. We'll just walk through and then swing round. So what you get on this channel is plenty of history. Our nature knowledge is developing, as they say. So we think these are hawthorn bushes, but we're not sure. Let us know if you know. Nature update.
Hawthorn hedge.
You can see how the land's been banked up here, so there's a nice flat field up there for that farm. There is a lovely walk up Pinfold Lane into some woods which we might take you on a future episode.
So while we might not know a great deal about nature, we certainly know what blossom is. And look at that, isn't it beautiful? Sure signs of spring.
So rather than continuing the walk down Harwell Sluice Lane, which I believe is a dead end further down there, we're swinging off right to take you to that special feature which I've mentioned before. A little bit of a sunken lane this way. You can see where centuries of footsteps have trodden a sort of rut or ditch into this lane. And referring to an old 19th century map of Harwell, we can see that this particular path was called Middle Cross Lane. So if you are enjoying this walk with us, please hit that subscribe button. It's free to do so, and you'll see lots more history content coming up soon. So we approach the mystery to be found on the edge of one of these Nottinghamshire fields. So, why are these here? Who put them there? When were they put there? And what use did they used to have?
That's a question to you lot out there.
So currently these stones form a nice resting point during a walk. Perhaps you can sit and have a bite to eat or a drink here. Now I think these were from a high status building. I don't know if it was an old manor house. We do have the remains of Mattersey Priory a few miles in that direction behind Dawn. So yeah, it's quite a bit of decoration in here which suggests high status. They would have been quite heavy to transport here, so I'm thinking they've come from the nearby village of Everton at some point, maybe in the 13th, 14th, 15th centuries. Try as I have, I can't find out anything more about them apart from they're here, they look magnificent, they're a real point of mystery, and I'd love to know if anybody has any other theories about what these stones were and why they're here. So, having seen those wonderful mysterious stones, we're now heading back down towards the village of Everton, take on a different route back through the village and a little detour before we end up back where we started at Mattersey, and we'll show the site of that lovely old medieval bridge. The sun in behind us on the main road. I've been there before, can highly recommend the pub dinners, pub teas. So instead of continuing down the half mile on the main road back towards Mattersey, we're going to take a detour to the left opposite the appropriately named Broomhill Lane, because that's our surname, Broom. So this is called Mill Lane. I think we can see why. Another green lane here. We can see that obviously traffic doesn't come along it these days, but there are some hard stones underneath, so it shows that at some point it's perhaps used by horse and cart, but was never adopted as a proper tarmac road.
This way.
Yeah. This is the first time we've ever walked to this part of the area around Mattersey and Everton. What a lovely loop it is, so really glad we set out on this walk today. A little bit of a sharp dip in the land down there. I wonder if this was ever a quarry back in ancient centuries.
There's a pond.
Could have been a pond.
There.
So that's the lane we came out of near the start of the walk, the one that passes by the River Idle, but instead of going straight back that way, little detour round through the village of Mattersey to see the site of this former medieval bridge. Warmest part of the day now, so the hat has come off. At about 150 yards up there, that's the bridge we walked across over the River Idle at the start of this walk, and you can just see the church over there.
Another beautiful sign. So, another beautiful sign. The site of the old bridge, 1284 to 1953.
I wonder if it's a coronation type exercise to replace the bridge, but what a lovely piece of heritage that would have been had it still been with us. So we'll try and find a little bit about the story of why this bridge was pulled down. But isn't it look beautiful? So a bit of extra research actually showed us that the bridge used to be on the lane by the church where we started this walk. As you can see from this picture from 1909. So the road we looped around towards the end of this walk didn't actually exist until the 1950s, as you can see from this 19th century map. There's quite a lot of discussion in the early years of the 1900s about how useful the bridge was for the increasing amount of road traffic, who was responsible for repairing it, and sadly in building the new bridge they dredged out the River Idle where the old bridge stood and just pulled it down, much to the dismay of many of the local residents. Back in Mattersey now, and we're going to finish our walk at this very picturesque looking church and share with you the beautiful and poignant artefact that we found inside. So in this ancient church we have a thing of real beauty, this war window in dedication to three brothers who were all killed during the First World War, all by the surname of Huntress. And the inscription says, "Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." So it's memorialising the sacrifice of these three brothers who grew up just a few yards across from the church in Mattersey Hall. So as we sit and enjoy this lovely spring sunshine before getting back in our car and driving back home, we'd just like to say we hope you've enjoyed joining us on this beautiful, just under 4.5 mile walk around the lovely villages of Mattersey and Everton. We hope you found something interesting in the sites we've shown you. If you have, please give this video a like, and if you'd like to see more of our history walks and journeys throughout the country, then please subscribe. It's absolutely free to you.
So join us next time where every journey begins with a path to the past.